Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Box Office Talk. This is the show where I break down what happened at the box office, see if my predictions for the top 5 are correct, and then make predictions for next week's top 5. So let's get right on into it. Last week I predicted that number 1 would be Moana, number 2 would be Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, number 3 would be Doctor Strange, number 4 would be Bad Santa 2, and number 5 would be Allied. And I got 3 out of 5 of my predictions right, which isn't too bad. And just a quick reminder, this is the weekend box office that I am talking about, but I am going to be talking about the Thanksgiving numbers too, because Moana, Bad Santa 2, and Allied opened up Wednesday, so I'll be talking about how much money they made as a whole too. So let's get right on into what happened. Number 1 was, of course, Moana. I don't think anyone is really surprised by this. This weekend it made $55 million, and that adds to a total of $81 million for a 5-day weekend. And that is a very good start for this movie. Its budget is only $150 million, according to Wikipedia right now, so it'll probably get there in no time. In fact, Zootopia opened at like $70 million, and look at that. It grossed over $300 million, and that's just domestically. Worldwide, it has like over $1 billion. So I think Moana is going to be a really nice hit, and it's very well deserved because Moana is the best animation of the whole year. Number 2 was Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, still holding in strong this weekend. It made $45 million, and that adds to a total of $156 million. Now, it only needs $24 million more to get its $180 million budget back domestically, but if you look at the worldwide chart, you'll notice that it has made $473 million. So it has gotten its budget back, and it has doubled it. It is grossed more than $360 million, which is the doubling point of a $180 million budget, and it is doing fantastically. That's very good for this movie. I can't wait to see more Fantastic Beasts movies, because for sure they're going to make more after the success of this movie. Anyways, number 3 is Doctor Strange. This weekend it made $13,369,000. Now, this movie and the number 4 are very close to each other, so like a couple weeks ago, another movie with Doctor Strange I mentioned could have flip-flopped, and that's the same for the number 4 film, so we'll talk about that in a second. But Doctor Strange has a domestic total of $205 million now, so it crossed the $200 million margin domestically. That's very good for this film, and if you look at the worldwide chart, it has made $615 million. That is super fantastic for this movie, and I'm just sitting here waiting for Marvel to announce that they're making a Doctor Strange 2 for the Phase 4. I know they're gonna do it. They have to. This movie is like too popular for them to not do a sequel. Anyways, number 4 is Allied. This movie made $13 million this weekend, and that adds to a total 5-day opening of $18 million. This movie actually did a little bit better because it opened at number 4 instead of my prediction of number 5, but this is still a really bad opening for this movie because it's on a budget of $85 million. In order for it to be considered a success, it would have to double its $85 million budget, which would get it to $170 million, and there is just no way this movie's going to be able to do that. I'm really bummed. Robert Zemeckis, even though this movie's doing better than The Walk, which was Robert Zemeckis' film last year, it is still not doing very well. I feel really bad for him, honestly, even though I hear Allied isn't all that great, which is also kind of a bummer. I wanted to see this movie. It looked pretty good. Anyways, number 5 was Arrival. This weekend it made $11 million, and that adds to a total of $62 million. And if you look on the worldwide chart, it is at a total of $84 million, and its budget is $47 million, and in order to double that, it would need $94 million. So it's only $10 million away from doubling its budget, and I think that's very good. I'm glad this movie's a big success. I'm glad people are going out to see it because it is definitely one of the best films of the whole year. Moving on to number 6, which is Trolls. This weekend it made $10 million, and that adds to a total of $135 million. And it just got its budget of $125 million back. That's very good for the movie, and if you look at the worldwide chart, it is at $280 million. So it's $30 million more than the doubling point of $250. That's very good for this movie. I'm still, like with Doctor Strange, waiting for DreamWorks to come out and say they're working out like a sequel or something. I haven't seen the movie yet, and I don't know if they leave it open for a sequel, but knowing how movies and franchises somehow work, it'll probably get one. I don't know. Maybe. Anyways, number 7, Almost Christmas. This weekend it made $7 million, and that adds to a total of $36 million. Congratulations, Almost Christmas. it just doubled its budget. Its budget is 17 million, and they just crossed the doubling point of 34 million. That's very good for this movie, even though I haven't seen it. Congratulations on being somewhat of a success, even though, as I just said, I haven't seen it, and not too many people really care for it, because it's like 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's kind of mixed reaction there. But moving on to number 8, which was a huge surprise to me, Bad Santa 2. This weekend it made $6 million, and for a Thanksgiving 5-day opening, it has $9 million. Now, I'm surprised because of 2 reasons. Number 1, I thought the first movie was kind of popular. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but they made a sequel, so of course the first one is popular enough to make it, right? I don't know. But then you look at the budget, which is another reason why I'm surprised. They spent $26 million for the production budget of this movie, which means to double it, it would have to make 52 million, and there's just no way it's going to be able to do that now. I don't know why it costs $26 million to make a Bad Santa movie, but it did, and now they have to make a lot of money to make it back, but because of this opening, it's not going to. Kind of sad, I think. I haven't seen the first one, and I don't really care about seeing this one. Number 9 is Hacksaw Ridge. This weekend it made $5 million, and that adds to a total of $52 million. I'm glad this movie's still holding out strong. It's made $12 million more than its $40 million budget. Very good. It won't be able to get to $80 million, though, I don't think, unless a lot more people go out to see it, but it is about to leave the top 10 after all. Maybe if it gets nominated for a ton of Oscars, it'll reopen in theaters and people will go back to see it. And finally, number 10 was The Edge of 17. This weekend it made $2 million, and that adds to a total of $10 million domestically. So there you go. It crossed the $9 million budget, and it won't be able to get to the doubling point of $18 million, but I don't think it really needs to. It looks like a really cheap movie to make. I don't really know. But anyways, now it's time for the fun part, the predictions for next week's top 5. Now I'm going to say that number 1 will be Moana again. I'm going to say number 2 will be Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them again. I think these 2 movies will hold out strong. From pretty much the only movie coming out that isn't in limited release, which would be my number 3 prediction, Incarnate, the new Blumhouse horror movie that looks terrible. I'm going to say number 4 will be Doctor Strange, and number 5 will be Allied. But what are your predictions for next week's top 5? Leave them in the comments below, and if you got your predictions right for this week, you're going to get a shout out right now. Unless you didn't get it right then, I apologize. And I just want to announce to you guys, in case you somehow haven't heard, tickets for Star Wars Rogue One come on sale tomorrow or midnight exactly. So if you want to see Rogue One and you want to know when tickets are finally coming on sale, it's tomorrow, midnight, tonight. So get on it. I'm definitely going to be staying up to get tickets. I can't miss Rogue One, guys. Oh, and we're 2 weeks away, or 3 weeks away from Rogue One. That's exciting. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.